It looks like one of the players on Great Apes is a Reflux 450 player.
Really?
Which has been getting more talk lately because people always argue that, oh, it's like sleeper OP, or it's like people think it's good and it's not. Stop wasting your time and stuff.
Yeah.
But to me, I think that when I play the Reflux, which I'm not very good, I do have a lot of fun. So what I feel about Reflux is that if you're a Reflux player and you're in this Twitter argument or something about is it good, is it bad, should I keep playing this? It doesn't matter. If you like playing it and you're killing people with it and you're having a good time, keep playing it. Because maybe one day they buff it and then you'll be on top.
Yeah.
Then you'll be on top. That's how I feel about it.
And you know, I really second that, because when you're playing a weapon and you're having fun, you're much more invested in that weapon.
It's why we game. We game to have fun and win and have fun.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I've tried playing other weapons, and you know, with chargers, like, you know, I mean, I do okay with it sometimes, but sometimes it's not always the most fun to just sit there and try to aim. Like, sometimes I just really want to get, you know, in the action.
Sure.
I absolutely want to be in the action. So, you know,
and Reflex, it feels so juicy. Hitting those hits, it feels juicy. It feels good. Something about it.
Yeah, something about when you hit a shot with like either the Reflux or the you know, or the bow, it's like, wow, like that just, it was so clean.
Yeah. There's a noise it makes too, the 450, that little like ping.
Yep.
It's the H3 noise makes it too, and something about it, it's kind of like that test they did with the bell and then the feeding time for the animals.
Really?
Yeah, I want that bing. Every time I hear that sound of the bow hitting those 3 shots, I need another one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, that's going to encourage you, incentivize you to go in for more splats.
Oh yeah, always going for it. And it paints well, it kills fairly well, at a decent range, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, something about it.
Yeah.
I'm just always happy to see it. I'm always happy to see it.
Oh, I'm absolutely happy to see it too.
What else do we have going on? A lot of fairly common stuff here, which, I mean, the common stuff is the meat of the stew, right?
Yep.
You gotta have your zaps and your shots and your pencils, you know?
Yeah, you know,
because that's how they get into redemption a lot of the time, is you play what works.
Absolutely. You know, you really need the fundamentals of a good comp. You know, weapons that can, weapons that can splat very well, that can paint very well.
Sure.
You know, they make up the backbone of the, you know, they make the backbone of the comp.
They do.
But, you know, it's always cool to see some people really go for very, very creative comps.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
You know, you might be like going up against somebody who's playing Blobber, and you're like, well, I don't get how they could do the Blobber. And then you finish the match and go, oh, that's how you do the Blobber.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why. Okay, I'm gonna either play this weapon, or I'm never going to like this weapon ever. I'm going to, you know, just absolutely detest it.
Yeah, you're gonna love it or hate it. I do feel like that's one of my favorite parts of coming to a LAN, is watching these teams with these comps that are funky and watching them make it work, just standing behind them and watching them go.
Absolutely.
So, let's see what we get out of these folks.
Absolutely. This looks like we're off to our next match. We got Splat Zones on
Hagglefish.
Hagglefish, look at that.
Zones. I love this map mode. It's a good time.
Me too.
The length. Fusion taking out the Rapid Deco.
Really?
A lot of people believe in that weapon, and I do too. I think it's a fun one to play.
Oh my goodness, we got Crab Tank on both sides. That tent, you know, the tent right there up top. Yet I can tell you right now that we're going to see some Crab Tank action.
Crab
right
from the glass. Absolutely.
Yep. Absolutely.
Especially we got a pencil on one side, so I feel like you're gonna have to share the glass a bit there. It's gonna maybe just come down the 2 shots on that side though too. A lot of it's gonna come down to range.
Yep.
This map, a lot of it's just all about taking, after you take the zone, moving up.
Absolutely. It looks like with the Great Apes, their weapon composition allows them to get a lot of paint coverage. And that map control is going to be crucial when it comes to, especially a map or a mode like Splat Zones.
Yeah, they can move up very quickly.
They certainly can.
Once they can take that space, they're going to take it.
Yep. That snipe rider right there is going to provide such excellent pressure off of the zone.
Holding it down, absolutely.
Absolutely. So it's really going to take a lot out of it. It's going to take a lot for the boots to be able to get that.
This Stamper, it does have a really solid reach through all of that middle section. And then once that crab comes out, you can get picks like that one, where you just get that guy real far down.
Yeah.
It all works out.
Yeah, and you know what was great about that? Even though the crab tank was taken down, they still got that last shot out that splatted them.
Yeah.
And that was great.
Absolutely. It ends up being a trade, but it's the one that you had the middle for that moment, and so you keep extending that, you keep rolling with it.
Nope, there it is, just like we talked about. It looks like the crab tank is up there.
Crab on the glass?
Crab on the glass.
Looks like this Zap is trapped in this tough spot, but dodging around, got the jump out. Very sick. Oh, and the jump in, maybe.
Oh, no worries. It looks like now the Great Apes have now taken the zone back, and they're going to solidify their lead.
But maybe a little panic there.
Oh yeah,
maybe
just a little panic. But it looks like they're not going to be able to hold it for very long because it looks like the numbers advantage is going to work against them.
It's like hiding with the strikes. These strikes are going to stop the vision, but it looks like they had a flank. This flank could be doing some work right now. They definitely are seen, so we'll just see how well they can fall back, I suppose.
Absolutely. Oh, they're going against an Inkzuka, but the bomb
There it goes.
was able to splat them.
When you have 3-on-1, there's not much you can do if you're the one a lot of the time.
Honestly, that is 100% fact.
I think this Pencil's trying to play it safe back here. It's pretty difficult with all these bombs and whatnot, though.
Oh, absolutely.
The crab coming out.
But it looks like Boop Boop's got what they wanted because they were able to take the lead.
Here we go. Two sharing the glass.
Yep, there it is.
That'll take the zone.
Yep. Looks like it's a battle of the glass.
Yeah, watching this jump out. Looks like they're pushing pretty solid.
Yep, that Inkzuka is really just absolutely devastating for the other team.
It dominates games. It's a quick pick.
Yep.
Oh
my goodness.
Tried to get him out of the air there.
Yeah.
Tried to do a glitzy move.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Sometimes you got to take risky moves, and sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't.
That's how it goes.
Yep, you got to take those shots. If you don't take them, well, you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Absolutely.
Wayne Gretzky, something
Michael
like that.
Scott.
Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky. Wow, tried to get the jump out. Not quite.
Look at that.
This is a fairly close game still. It could be anyone's game.
Yep.
But 3 down. 3 down on the side of Boops.
Absolutely. But it looks like another crab tank is rearing and ready to go in just a quick moment. Maybe let's see if they go back onto the glass.
Fusion farming this inkjet here. This could be big for getting back in.
This certainly could. Oh, yep, look, there it is. There it is.
There it goes. Not a whole lot. There we go.
Yeah, that is such a great position for a crab tank. It's right there where the zone is. It provides such great cover and
absolutely
such great suppressive paint.
It's good for safely taking the zone back a lot of the time too.
Yeah, it's such a low risk move to make as long as your opponent doesn't have an Inkzuka ready to go.
Yeah, there are a few things that beat that crab there, but
yep.
Oh, really moving up here, trying to take it, not quite getting it, but that could have been big.
Goodness, it looks like can they take it?
One down, that's it.
Did it.
Last point.
Yep.
Sometimes it comes down to that last point, and you just got to jump in. Even if it's a bad jump, it's the only shot you get.
Yeah, you know what? That's absolutely true. I mean, you got to jump in there. You got to go for it. Even you might get splatted. You might be taken down, but
if that doesn't turn over, if that zone doesn't turn over before the enemy team does, then it's already over for you.
Absolutely.
So you got to take that bad jump and hope you can make something happen.
Absolutely, it's all about the OBJ, and if you can, if your actions that you take, if you can just help even stall it just for a second, that might be all you need for your teammate to make it there and successfully reverse it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if you reverse it, then that other team, the enemy team, gets the penalty points, and you
get a fighting chance.
You get a fighting chance back. That's that breathing
room
room that you just need.
Yeah, and when that happens to me, I always feel like I have this resurgence of energy, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it was down to 1 point, and we have this chance back, and we're gonna take this. We're gonna move. We're gonna fight with it.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll see that next time. This time it didn't quite work out, but sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yep. You just have to take your strategy. You have to just bring it back into the workshop. Just kind of work on it a little bit, and then bring it back out. And next time, hopefully it will work.
You play the cards you got.
Yep, absolutely.
Play the cards you got.
Yep, and as you play and as you learn, you start getting better and better, and you start realizing, well, maybe I could have done this maybe just a little differently, and that little difference might be the key to victory.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Looks like Great Apes took that one.
Absolutely.
Going in with a 1-0 at the moment. Plenty of time for Boops to turn this around, though.
Absolutely. It looks like let's take a look at what our next match is going to be. It looks like we've got Rainmaker on Museum.
Rainmaker Museum.
Yep, yeah. Rainmaker. So let's go ahead and hop right into this next match coming up. We've got Rainmaker on Museum. Let's take a look at our comps.
Looks like we have a Carbon coming out. I'd love to see a Carbon. It's always fun watching a good Carbon.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, I love watching Carbons in action.
This Range Blaster pick could be pretty big though.
Oh, that's so interesting. On the side of Great Apes, they almost all have the Suction Bomb.
Wow.
That's going to be a lot of poking.
It'd be good for popping too. Popping that Rainmaker with the suctions looks great.
Absolutely great for popping too.
I will say, I feel like pulling that Range Blaster out against the Rapid Blaster, it's a good kind of like, oh, you've got to take 2 hits to kill me. I only need 1.
Yeah.
So when you get that splat in there,
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
it's a great turnaround.
Yep, you only need two hits to splat.
They are moving through this quick.
They
are moving
very
through
much
this.
are.
22? 22 off the first 30 seconds of this game
That's
is very
such a
solid.
Great push. Like, oh my goodness. Like, you know, you really just...
And they're holding them down, too.
The pressure just continues.
Wow.
Look at that.
Moving against that wall, very clean.
It is
very
going to be a massive... This is going to be a massive mountain to climb. But the game is not over yet, even though we're only a minute in.
It's a dead push, but 10 points it can be a winning push. It's going to be an uphill battle for the next 3 minutes and 57 seconds, it looks like, for the Great Apes.
Absolutely, but if the Great Apes can really strategize and, you know, just play their comps in, you know, teamwork, work and synergy, I think they've got a sizable, I think they got a great chance.
Absolutely. Like we said earlier, Rainmaker, it takes one good push to take this game.
One great push.
Oh, going all the way around. I guess they're trying to get some cover over there.
Yep.
That makes sense, and they can drop down for safety.
Yep, sometimes you just need that, sometimes you just need to make that space.
Sure.
Oh, but the Inkjet was able to take them down, but that's okay. You know, there's still plenty of time in this match, and the Rainmakers
are farmed with a good angle, a great angle even.
Wow!
Taking 2, 3 down, and just the carbon up. When it's just the carbon up, you know you can push, because if you take that Ink safely, it's not getting you.
Oh, absolutely.
No way.
Oh, absolutely. The question is, can they get up this ramp? And
Wow.
Looks like
going for it though.
Absolutely, that's some teamwork right there. Just coming to save the Rainmaker.
We do have this shot, really fighting against these 3 while they're holding back this area.
Oh, but it looks like the triple Ink strikes might pose a bit of a problem. Oh,
pushing all the way back into mid, all the way back.
Yep, even though the spacing was a little bit of an issue, they still, actually, that was a very good place to lose the Rainmaker, because now they have to go all the way around up the ramp in order to get back to where they were.
Yep, and then once you spawn, you're also kind of right there by it. You can get close to it quick. So it's advantageous, definitely, for that team.
Absolutely. You know, it's always great to see just the little things in, you know, Splatoon, like the little strategies that really make a big difference.
Absolutely. Especially Rainmaker. I feel like in Rainmaker, every moment, especially leading into the last minute, is very make or break. You know, it's a mistakeless game mode.
Yeah.
Very unforgiving.
Oh, it certainly is unforgiving. Man. We're approaching 2 minutes left on there, or 2 minutes left on the clock, and we have the Great Apes attempting to go for. It looks like they might want to go for another push. Let's see.
They do have one down, and then these strikes coming out are going to mean they're not going to be able to take too much space. They got to kind of reset this whole thing.
Absolutely.
But if they reset properly, it won't be too damaging on them.
Absolutely. It looks like that Snipe Rider does have their special, which might help a lot in getting through this little hurdle.
Absolutely. I will say, Ziff up there pushing hard and always kind of being able to duck and dodge between 2 and 3 of the opponents is really like kind of wasting the time of the Great Apes, you know? Absolutely. I feel like it's one of those moves that even if you might be doomed in the long-term sense, the time that you're spending up there like skirmishing is seconds on the clock.
Absolutely. And you know, Boop Boops have they are in a great position to be able to stall. They don't really have to push. Like all they really have to do is just get a great stall game going on.
60 seconds to play it safe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, they could play it extremely safely and just, you know, protect the Rainmaker in a really good zone. It looks like they would not actually be able to hold the Rainmaker for the rest of the time, though, for this. It looks like they have just a little... Oh, it looks like...
That's very likely. There we go. That is what they needed.
Yeah. They made it to the first checkpoint, and that's some... Oh, it looks like with numbers advantage, they just might be able to push a little bit harder.
Yeah, and there's very little space between the amount of place they need to actually take this lead here.
And with the Rainmaker on their side, they actually have the benefit of overtime once we hit 0 on the clock.
Yes. I will say against a blaster, they'll have a run for their money.
Absolutely.
Holding that Rainmaker when they've got a blaster.
That oh my goodness, the triple Ink Strike is
wow! On the way back down.
Wow. Oh.
Wow. Alone.
I felt that.
Unfortunate.
I really just, that was so unfortunate. I felt that. Like,
when you're the only one left with the Rainmaker and the enemy has a carbon, it's like you're in a horror movie right now.
Absolutely.
There's something chasing you down.
Oh, yep, and you don't even know where they're going to come from. They're just going to hit you, where you least expect it.
They're going to find you. They'll find you.
They'll find you.
Boost played that quite well.
Absolutely.
That open was very strong.
Yeah.
I love that. That was solid.
I'll be absolutely honest. Like, if it wasn't for that strong push in the beginning, I think, the other team, I think they would have had a great sizable chance to be able to take the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It feels like, to me, the way Boops is playing here is they can take hold of a moment, and they can make that moment work extremely well. And then the match we saw before this, it was very much of like the push and pull over time, right?
Yeah.
And the Great Apes did end up holding out that way. So I'm curious to see as this set progresses. Looks like next we have tower control on Undertow Spillway, if I'm correct.
Oh, yeah, you are absolutely right. Tower control on Undertow? Oh, that's going to be...
This will be a good one.
That'll be a good one.
I feel like it is a great mixture of times when you need to take that moment and times when you need to really play the push and pull.
Absolutely.
A lot of tower control, you always have these certain checks that are easier or harder to push through. And personally, my feelings on tower control Undertow is that there is that second check as you come across the bend in front of the U-grade that tends to be hard to take.
Yeah.
But the way that they're playing that one moment, if they take advantage of that moment and break that check, then we could see him taking it. Boops could very much take this.
Absolutely.
After that last one. Also, the morale of when you're up there and then you have a good game the first game and the second game and you kind of get crushed a little bit.
Absolutely.
You know, and now they've got to deal with these feelings of like, we're 1-1, right? We're tied up. We got to get 2 more games off of this team that we just lost to. We got to figure something out. We got to come together and we got to beat them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it looks like we had a sub out, which we don't usually get subs here because most of the time teams come in 4s, but this team does have 5.
The team does have 5. So yeah, it looks like I'm curious to see how this is going to go with the sub. You know, this could be a game changer. You know,
absolutely.
You know, sometimes that's just how it goes. Like, you know, you sub somebody out and, you know, for a certain map mode combo, because, you know, some people have their strengths. And
some things work great in some spots and not so good in others.
Absolutely. And it also depends on your composition, too. Like, if you're playing, like, if the person on your team is playing a very aggressive, you know, very Slayer-like weapon, and maybe you're playing a game mode that might require a little more defense, you know, a map mode combo that might require more defense, then it might be advantageous to switch out with somebody who might, you know, be more, they might be more adept at a weapon that has more defensive capabilities.
Totally.
Like, for instance, like with Undertow, like I always envision, like, one thing that really just gets me a lot is when I'm facing off against a blobber.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because you have that overhead glass that just can rain down bubbles. Just raining bubbles.
Absolutely, and they're always coming at you. They take paint very well. They can
certainly do.
take space.
Yeah.
Going back to the subbing thing, I know a team, and they have a dedicated brush player. They only play brush.
Really?
So they only send the brush in on the map modes that they know that they want to play the brush on. And then when they have no brush, they just play the regular 4. It's a very interesting way to sub.
Absolutely.
It's a good time.
You know, and, you know, that I really like that a lot. Like, you know, just when you're... I'm just a big fan of brush. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. My team is basically the brush brigade.
If we get lucky, we'll see a brush today. I don't know if we'll get lucky, but maybe we will. Who knows?
Honestly, yeah. You know, that would be for Kingmaker Hammer.
All right. So heading into tower control Undertow.
All right.
I do wonder if we're going to see this bow come out after that sub.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't get a look at who was playing that last one, but if we're subbing in a bow, that would be very nice.
Absolutely.
I do love to see a bow, especially on tower. The way that it can kind of hold that.
Oh yeah.
Hold that top end from that mid-range distance.
Absolutely. And it looks like we actually have a machine. Yep, actually, that's a pretty good one. A machine for Undertow?
The Booyah, the GG Booyah on this is
Booyah.
huge. It's huge.
Yep.
Coming into that end game. And it looks like we have the strikes on the other side, so both teams have a special that can solidify that ending, assuming they have the lead there.
Absolutely.
This blaster really making their own space, honestly.
Honestly, yeah. You know, that's great. I love to see that. It looks like despite a numbers advantage, they are going for it.
They very quickly took a call down just to get that slight push in, but it looks like we're coming back very quick.
Oh my goodness, surviving the Zuka. Wow, that's a headline right there.
Living it.
Absolutely.
Don't see that every day, right? And this bubble is going to be critical for moving this tower. As long as they keep their feet on, then when they move around this bend, they're going to have full protection throughout.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. And it looks like now Boops is going on to the... Wow, look at this checkpoint. The checkpoint right here.
Yes, this is the one in front of the U I was talking about.
Yep.
I feel like this one, and they did take advantage of that moment, and they were able to push through.
Absolutely. They were able to avoid that machine. I'm sure that machine would have been devastating from up there.
Absolutely. This, breaking that check is huge.
Yes.
I feel like at this point it's going to be, if they can get it in even more solid push throughout, then we might be looking at a game much like the Rainmaker game we just watched.
Yes.
Because defending on this map, as long as you play patiently enough and well enough around that corner, you can usually keep someone at bay, keep a team at bay.
Absolutely. And it looks like now we've got the Great Apes going in and making their push onto the tower as well. The Booyah Bomb launching over by the enemy side.
See the jump? See the jump? Not quite a jump out.
Yep. So, you know, sometimes you just got to jump.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We do have 2 specials up on the side of Boops Boops.
Oh, let's...
Got the soda down, and then we got the inkjet come in as soon as they feel like they need it.
Absolutely.
It seems like they're going to hold it for when they need to push the spin, though, because they can kind of take the side angle, or they can...
Yep.
We'll see what they do with it.
That triple ink strike is going to be very advantageous when it comes to, you know, comes to pushing the tower like this. And it looks like it... Oh, wow.
We have Cactus taking that one.
Yes, absolutely.
Moving forward, feet staying on for a minute there.
Yep, the pressure is real. Look at that.
They got this jet getting pushed hard, living it though, living it quite well.
Absolutely.
This game is coming very quickly to its late stages, just like that Rainmaker game. We're only 2.5 minutes in, we're half through this game, and we're down to an 18-point push.
Oh, absolutely.
And with that bubble on that tower.
And the push continues, 8-7-6.
Cactus feet staying on against all odds. That was very good for that extra 1 or 2 points.
Absolutely. Against all odds, they were able to take the tower back. They're pushing the tower back to the middle. This gives them breathing room and the opportunity to go for the gold.
Absolutely. That was very solid.
Yeah. It looks like, though, the Boop Boops have the triple ink strike ready to go. They might be able to utilize that triple ink strike to secure their victory. They're putting the pressure.
The vision, the stopping on the vision from the strike is very
absolutely.
nice. The soda, very solid.
Yep, that triple ink.
There.
Absolutely, that triple ink strike was absolutely crucial to securing their victory, and I'm so glad that they did that.
I feel like this was much like the Rainmaker game that we just saw, except in this one, they were able to take the objective fully in.
Yeah.
Now, that knockout was very solid. They held up pretty concise holds through middle most of the game. There was one push that got in from the Great Apes, but aside from that, they were very good at just creating this wall and holding it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
2-1. Boops, Boops, if they take one more. If they take one more, this set is over. So let's see what we have coming up next. It looks like we're going to Clam Blitz on Mako Mart.
Oh, Clam Blitz on Mako Mart.
We were just talking about this, weren't we?
Certainly did. We certainly were. And you know what? Let's see who's going to take the boxes.
Yep, who's taking the boxes?
We want to see who's taking the boxes because, you know, whoever takes the boxes takes the victory, in my
Whoever
opinion.
takes the boxes takes the game. That's true.
And especially on something like Clam Blitz, you know, you get control of those boxes, then you've got just a one-way ticket to the goal basket.
Absolutely.
The goal post.
You can jump the clam right off the box.
Yeah.
Off the tip of that, and then it's in.
Yeah.
And then also the left side behind that one box that's here, and then they got the piece here. I don't know what it's called, but you jump it off there.
Oh, yeah.
It's solid. You've got a lot of ways in on this map. The problem, I feel like, is that it's such a thin map in a way that if you're defending, you can see where they're coming from most of the time. You can look at the map, you can find paint. So you do have to get some picks to move in most of the time. Sometimes you can choose one in, but at this level of play, you don't see that too often anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not too often.
You know what? I'm just excited to see what kind of compositions we're going to be looking at today for this map mode combo for Clam Blitz on Mako. They've got plenty of great options to choose from. I mean, this is a very charger-friendly map.
It is.
I like seeing chargers, you know, when they're positioned well on, you know, Mako Mart where they can take. You know, honestly, they have a one-way ticket to the boxes.
Sure. Yeah,
you know,
they do get to see. They can see them at all times, and they can take people off of them whenever they want.
You can deny them the box, and if you deny them the box, you deny them the victory.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at this team fun fact for Boops Boops, and it says we're the only team playing with 39 fingers.
39 fingers. How many do I have?
Is one of them missing a finger?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's impressive.
Some people are missing fingers. That's how it goes. It's like the average human has less than 10 fingers because you got to account for the folks with fewer than 10.
Absolutely. But, you know, that's honestly, you know, I think that's really cool. I mean, you know, you're really like these are powerful teams too.
Sure.
Like that's just honestly, it's just. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're holding a controller. You only really hit buttons with 3 of them.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
Well, now they got me curious, huh?
Really? Oh my goodness! Look at that.
The deco coming back out. The carbon deco.
Carbon's back out.
I did like seeing it, that one map on the Rainmaker, and I feel like especially for getting in and holding the score zone after you get it, it's extremely solid for that. It can hit those little edges extremely well.
Absolutely.
With the verticals. Wow. I do feel like it might be kind of hard to take mid in the first place, but
Yeah.
a good Carbon player can overcome. You know, that's kind of
Absolutely.
what you have to learn to do. You've got the very strong aspects of that weapon and the very weak aspects of that weapon.
Oh, of course.
And it takes a good team to balance that out. So,
Absolutely. It looks like right now they're pretty even in terms of numbers. It's still anybody's game for who's going to take the first score.
absolutely, yeah. You see one go down on one side and then one go down on the next side, and then one go down on one side and one go down on the next. This is a very even match.
Absolutely.
The kind of thing we really love to see.
Yep, and it looks like they're even. They're mostly even on their clams. One side having 9, the other having 6. I mean,
Yeah, that is quite close.
it looks like the Great Apes is only
Fusion
one
doing
clam.
some work with Cactus. They really teamed up there for that kill.
Oh,
That
absolutely.
splat, it seems.
Look at that.
Building and moving up. That soda is going to be critical because now
Yep.
when one goes down, even if they do go down, they're coming right back.
Not only that, but it's a shield.
It is a shield.
It'll protect them from that blaster. Yep, and you know what?
You know what? A clam got in. So 77 is better than
And
the whole
honestly,
thing.
honestly, that's actually really critical too, because you have not only did you get one power clam in, but you got one clam in.
Right back at him, though.
Yep, that's going to put it on the Great Apes to not only get that power clam in, but get one clam in.
That's true. And then we do have someone getting around back. Very good movement.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2 clams. Wow.
Yeah, that was a nice little one. I got a jump coming in too with
Yep.
the pity, it seems. This pity might go in. Not
Ooh.
quite. A little too far away.
I feel that. You know, you want to go for the jump and you want to try to make it, and sometimes you make it, but you know, you have to really do really quick math when you're doing that. Like,
Yeah. Are you close enough?
like am I close enough? And when I'm close enough, what angle do I have to throw it at?
Exactly. Yeah, because as soon as your feet hit the ground, that's when you're probably dying on the spot, or you're probably getting splatted on the spot. But
Yeah.
you know, maybe you get the clam in, maybe you don't, and sometimes it doesn't quite work out, and that's what we saw here.
You know,
looks
it
like
certainly happens.
this score was not quite in. I wondered what they were going with that, and you know, sometimes you just don't get to shoot it in time.
You know, honestly, I think they really were going for a valiant effort to get that power clam in to, you know, create an opening for their team to get more clams in. 'Cause it looks like, you know, I mean, honestly, it could have given an opportunity to get more clams in.
Totally. It looks like Cactus has built up to 7 at this point, and they had space taken. They could have maybe made something happen there, but it seems they wanted to be extra patient here because they did still have 4 on the enemy team up. So I feel like moving in at that time, you really need to make sure you get a pick or two before you can open the basket to keep scoring concisely.
Absolutely.
Because putting in 1 power clam at a time is not what wins games here.
Yeah.
You really need to gear up for 1 solid push.
Yep.
And then take that push to carry you into the end.
Yep, this is the game mode where teamwork really matters. You know, you can have your one teammate who throws in the power clam, but you need to make sure you follow up with it. Otherwise, you know,
You're not getting anywhere at 10
you're not
points at a
getting
time.
anywhere. Yeah, especially with the pity points that you have to get through. I mean, you'll be going through what, 3 points if, you know, on the side of the Great Apes if they score. You know, you got to make sure that you have teammates who can follow up with that.
Absolutely. This is still very much anyone's game the way that the points are looking. They're very close in points, but it looks like we do have Great Apes making a pretty strong push right under
They
that
get it?
basket.
Wow, they were able to get it just in time.
Yep.
In time. It looks like they're actually, wow, look at that.
We got 2 built on the side of Boops Boops.
Yep.
And 2 in right now is going to give them a much more substantial lead than any lead we've seen in this game so far.
Oh, absolutely. If they can manage to get these 2 power clams in, I think, you know, that's going to be a one-way ticket to victory.
This Zap is defending quite well, though. That soda coming out means that they're allowed to go in there, and if they get splatted, then they come back right away, so they can kind of move up the way that they did for free.
Oh, absolutely. But I always feel so nervous on Clam Blitz because, you know, when you have to go into overtime, you only get the 15 clicks?
Oh, yeah. It's very down to the wire.
It's absolutely down to the wire. Like, it's so hard to keep track. Like, you know, are we at, how many clicks do we have left? You know, can we make it? You know, sometimes you don't even know. You just have to go for the gold.
And then there's the math involved of how many little clams do we need after our score to push it over, right?
Absolutely.
And doing that quick math can make or break a game as well.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, it's also very wise on the Great Apes' part to collect these clams. Collecting these clams is going to deny the Boop Boops the ability to get more clams to make a power clam.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like we got 17 seconds with my clock.
Wow. Oh, it looks like they were splatted with the special. Man, I think that would have been very, very crucial for victory. But you know, that's okay. That's okay. There's still a chance. There's still
always a chance.
There's always a chance. Oh, but you know what?
Well, maybe not now.
Yeah.
There was a chance about 10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you got to build. It's time to build, not time to splat. And
yeah.
you know, it's kind of hard to take your mind off of the splatting and put your mind on the gathering when someone's on your tail, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
you know,
don't blame him one bit for it.
I do not. But you know what? Look at that, though. Just look at that score. That we are, it looks like, oh my goodness. It looks like we're now going into a game 5.
Wild. It's, you know, games like this, matches like this, you love to see it.
Absolutely.
Really,
we love to see matches like this. And you know what I love the most about this is that a game 5 is always just fiery. You know,
they're fighting for it. They've been fighting for it the last, what, hour or so?
Absolutely.
And they gotta keep standing up, keep fighting.
Yeah, and you know, it's always great too, because like, you know, what I love the most about the Splatoon community is that we have so much respect for one another.
Oh yeah, totally.
And so that respect for one another, it's almost like when you're facing off against somebody, you almost want them to win. Like you know, obviously you want victory, but it's like
you can feel the hunger.
Look, let me tell you this. Like if I beat you in this match, then I want to make sure that we earn it. Like I don't want to just, you know, I'm not looking to, you know, completely like just completely sweep you.
It's like when you see a DC on the enemy team, and it's like now this game doesn't feel right anymore. Something about it. But when you see stuff like this is like the feeling you get after defeating an opponent that has had you on your toes. It feels good. It feels so good.
It's always the best feeling. And you know, at the end, when you finish that game 5, regardless of whether you win or lose, you made it to game 5.
You did make it to game 5. That's true.
You made it to game 5. You're both winners at this point. It's just a matter of who actually got the score. Like, you know, who actually gets the point. But
yeah, and these matches are pretty close a lot of times too. So.
And what, you know, I always have the philosophy that if you beat me in this tournament, like, you know, if I'm in a tournament and you beat me,
deserved.
It's not only one, it's deserved. 2, I want to see you win this entire thing.
Oh, like, yeah, take it to the top. Because you're carrying the backs of all the people you knocked out.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? I'm rooting for you. I'm doing whatever I can to support you. I'm the one Kermit in the back screaming. Like, I will be there for you. Like, if you defeat our team, then you're earning a cheerleader.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because everyone that they defeat after they defeated you, that just means that you, like, they took your shot away to take it, right? But they're going to take out all these other teams, and so now who knows how well you would have fared against them.
Absolutely.
Because they beat you, but they beat the next guy too, and the next guy after that.
Yeah, and absolutely. And you know what? It's if you beat me, it's no longer your victory, it's our victory.
Yeah,
like you're taking this to the top, and we're behind you every step of the way.
Yeah, yeah. I do feel like the Splatoon community, even though it has its whips and throws, I do feel like we're very good at supporting each other.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time. A lot of the people who play this game are not like the salty gamer type that you tend to think of a lot of the time when you think of a gamer.
Absolutely.
We definitely do play this game to have fun and to win, but we do put a lot of, I want to say, energy into making sure that we're all okay at the end of the day.
Yeah. You know, that's what matters the most. You know, making sure your opponent's okay. I mean, it's you know, you really don't want to, you know, defeat an enemy team. Oh, wow.
Oh.
I've just gotten word from Mission Control. It looks like this is the last streamed game of the night.
Final game of the night?
Final game of the night, a game 5.
Game 5.
Wow.
Super Squared Apes. Let's see who has what it takes.
Oh my goodness. Both teams going for this match. I honestly, it's still anybody's game at the moment.
True. I know that we don't have channel point predictions on this stream. I wish we did because I love channel point predictions.
I do too.
So in the chat, just type in chat who you're betting on, who you'd put your points on if you could.
Absolutely.
I want to see who's rooting for who. I can't say who I'd be rooting for because I'm commentating. That's not cool.
Of course.
But I have one in my head that I'm kind of pushing for.
You know what? I mean, I am too. At the end of the day, though, whoever wins, I think, is absolutely just the greatest.
I'm gonna fist bump all of them at the end of this anyway.
At the end of the day.
At the end of this, I'm gonna walk over there. I'm gonna go bump, 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 bump,
bump, bump, bump,
bump, bump.
Yep, there you know it.
Yep.
And looks like we are now going into our game 5. We are looking at Splat Zones on Mahi Resort.
Mahi Resort.
Oh my goodness. Here we go, folks.
Love to end on a vacation map, right?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Let's take a little
trip. Ending on a vacation map.
Take a trip to the resort.
Take a trip to the resort. Grab a beach chair, grab a beach towel, and just, you know, soak in the rays. Wow, it looks like the Great Apes is off to a strong start, getting those Splat Zone points. Let's see. Oh my goodness.
I am quite fond of Boops. I'm a Boops fanatic.
Oh, you know what? The fish is great. The fish is great, but the apes are great. I honestly, I just can't choose. I'm just happy for both.
I will say, I'm watching this. The pencil is going to be definitive for this. We haven't seen Boops run a pencil yet.
Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, you know what? Looks like now with Boop Boops taking, regaining the lead. Okay.
Oh, wait, are we on ads now?
Are we on ads now?
Oh,
Okay,
we're on ads
okay,
now.
sounds good.
Sorry about that, guys.
Sorry about that.
All right, so what I was saying is I feel like the pencil is going to be pretty definitive for this because everyone talks about pencil a lot. Everyone says pencil's really strong. I do believe pencil's very strong, but I also think that a good coordinated team can overcome that, especially on a map like Mahi. You have the Rapid Blaster here can be really good at poking, and sometimes all a pencil needs to get displaced is just a nice poke to know that you're in danger, right?
Absolutely. And you know something? I can't. I've been waiting so long to say
Wow.
this. Wow, what a wipeout! I've been waiting so long to say this. It's a Snipe Rider versus a sword. Let's see who's mightier, the pen or the sword.
Yo!
Let's go!
The pen or the sword, baby?
The pen or the sword. And it looks like right now the pen is going for trying to get their lead. They are going strong, but can they hold it?
2 down.
2 down.
2 down, but the points are still ticking for a moment there. And
Wow.
there is a little point disparity here. Down to 15 is good, but on zones, if anyone's running last-ditch effort, that is pretty fully
You know
kicked
what?
in.
Yep. If you have last-ditch effort, you are just 100% charged and ready to go.
You've got twice as many bombs as you had before, and you're...
Twice. Yep, you are absolutely right. And it looks like they still have to get to those pity points too. So Great Apes
They do.
still has a great
They are
opportunity for this.
counting this down. Fusion is going to plot this Inkjet.
Oh my goodness.
I'd love to see a good Inkjet. Something special about how those bullets move through that air. It is...
You are absolutely right.
They are counting this down hard.
Yep, the aggression is
20
real
points
on
to
this
go.
match. Oh my goodness, though,
Can
the
this
Great
pencil
Apes
paint this good enough? This
Can
pencil's
they
trying
do
their
it?
best to paint it. Do they have what it takes?
do they have what it takes? They have the numbers. They're taking them down,
So
and it looks
that's
like
it.
this match goes to the boop. Is it the boop boops?
Boops,
Yeah, boop boops. Let's go. I'm sorry, I got excited there for a second. I just wanted to make sure that I had the right team.
I'm not gonna lie. I was rooting for Boops Boops. I'm a Boops Boops fanatic. After watching them play, they play like me. You know, they push hard. They push hard, and they
know
don't
what?
spend the time to think all the time. Sometimes you just gotta get all your energy, put it together into a push, and then just overwhelm. And
Absolutely.
I love seeing people play that way.
You are
It feels
100% correct. Well, it
so
looks
good.
like for this match, we have proven that the pen is indeed mightier than the sword, even though it's technically a pencil.
It is technically a pencil.